So Battlefield 6 essentially has leaked at this point, and not in a way, well, actually pretty much in a way I would have expected. So for those of you who don't know, as of today, the very first playtests for Battlefield 6 commenced. And if you don't know what that means, basically they have a thing called Battlefield Labs. So this is a thing that came out a few months ago. They announced that Battlefield Labs was going to be a thing. And essentially in this, it explains that they're going to be doing a bunch of community testing throughout the next coming months to test several different features, maps, game modes, gameplay decisions that they're eventually going to put in the final game. Well, today was the first closed test. Now, I believe before this, they had people come into their studios, play parts of the campaign. We've talked about that on the channel, play bits of the multiplayer, but there was never an out in the wild play test going on until today. Now, here's the thing. When we first heard about this, the first question I asked is how on earth is this going to work? Because I've been a part of closed playtests. I've been a part of just creators going to studios, and almost every single time it leaks. Every single time. Someone breaks NDA, and if you don't know what an NDA, it's a non-disclosure agreement. So any of the leaked gameplay that is out there right now, which we will talk about, any of this leaked gameplay is technically illegal. It can get DMCA takedown. Your channels can get taken down from it. But here's the thing. These people who are leaking it are just people that they have picked through Battlefield Labs. So they can stream it on Discord to their friends. There was someone streaming it on Twitch earlier today. So because this is like the very first test, and this is going to be the smallest one that they do, it's already leaking. And I'm assuming that they had to know that this was going to happen. Like, you have to be brain dead to be like, okay, we're going to do a closed one. There's going to be like maybe 200 people playing it. No one's going to say anything, because I believe the game mode they're playing is either 32v32 or 64v64. I'm not sure which. But needless to say, it got leaked. Now, before this even happened, they put out a statement, and that's what this article from Tom Henderson was about. Now, there's a lot of really telling things throughout this article. They started out by saying what they are going to be testing, and the two things that they really stress are gunplay and movement. Now, if we go to Charlie Intel here is the things that he took out of this. First of all, 60 hertz tick rate on servers. This is a huge deal. Why is this a huge deal? Because Call of Duty runs on 30 hertz in multiplayer and less than that in Warzone. I think it's like 20 hertz. Or even less than that in Warzone. 60 hertz is an industry standard at this point. Like Valorant, I think Counter-Strike, there's a couple other games that are 120 hertz tick rate. But it's okay. This is like the bottom of what I think the game should actually be. And because they're bigger games, they kind of have to, if they go really high, it's going to cause problems. But 60 hertz is good for their servers. Now, the other thing that this goes into is weapon recoil systems being more realistic. So this, from what I read and what I understand, is more along the lines of predictable recoil. So every single time you fire a weapon for the same amount of bullets, it's going to have the exact same recoil pattern every single time, which means you can predict it, use your mouse or controller to adapt to that, and be a better player than the average player just picking it up for the first time, because you know exactly how a weapon is going to react. The next thing that they say is updated movement animations, including crouch, sprinting, combat dive, and visual indicators. So we saw this last night, and then today the playtest started, and almost immediately gameplay went out, and we assumed that they were not joking around. Like someone put up gameplay and immediately, boom, DMCA takedown. But then more people got into the game, people were streaming it, and yes, it is going to get taken down, hence why it's not in this video whatsoever. But I wanted to talk quickly about a few things that I noticed throughout this gameplay. First of all, if you're going to compare it to another Battlefield game, it is 100% without a shadow of a doubt. If you've seen the gameplay, I know you'll agree with me, it's Battlefield 4. Now, from what I saw, they were only playing on one map, and that one map was the same map that was in the original teaser. Eventually, we'll see it in this trailer in the background. Some things that I noticed is 100% the game is not finished. There is tons of textures that do not load in properly. For example, when the person was holding the weapon, they have a little kind of like I think it's a strobe light on the front of their weapon. It was just floating there. It wasn't attached to the weapon in any way. Another one was once a wall got destroyed, inside the wall, there was a poster hanging on the wall. When the wall got destroyed, the poster stayed floating there. Tanks, the way that they look, the textures on the outside of them do not look complete. A lot of the walls, the destructible environments do not look complete. So it's an early build, hence why they don't want the gameplay out there. They want players' feedback. But at the same time, I still think they're trying to get it. But the rest of the game, to me, it's Battlefield 4. Like just looking at it from what I saw, the way that the map is, the zooming in, the overview of the map, the way that weapons work, the recoil, the reticles, the red dots. I didn't see any sniping gameplay. And then the one other thing that I saw, and maybe someone who's a little bit more well-versed, just because like the way that the gameplay work, I could only see parts of it. It looked like field upgrades from Black Ops 4, or sorry, not Black Ops 4, Battlefield 4 were returning. I'm not 100% sure with that. It was kind of hard to tell, but from what I saw, that is the case. And just like normal Battlefield, if you didn't see the gameplay, it was a larger style map. It was let me actually see, I think it's right here. So this actually shows the exact map that they were playing on, and I can give a little bit more detail now that we've seen it. So this is pretty much exactly what it looked like. A little blurry here, but tanks did not look this good. Tanks did not have full textures on them or anything like this. The walls did not look that good in game, and it says pre-alpha gameplay. It just, from what I saw, it didn't look like this. The destruction, once we get to there, this looks really good. To me, it didn't look this good. And then we get to the point where the buildings start to get destroyed. So the textures in my eyes from the gameplay that I saw didn't quite look this good, but more so closer to this building exploding. How it kind of breaks up into smaller pieces and then gets kind of just like falls down. That's more so what it looked like to me. Also, when someone was driving the tank, it almost appeared as though you could just drive straight through walls. It did not slow you down whatsoever. It did not make a big difference. The other thing is, if we go back to what Charlie Intel tweeted there, when they say updated movement animations, including crouch sprinting, combat dive, and visual indicators, to me, what I saw, this is undeniably a Battlefield game. Like the way that the weapon moves in someone's hands, like kind of shakes side to side as they're running. The way it pulls up, how it kind of doesn't just like pull up straight to your face. It kind of like scoops up when they pick up the weapon. Rocket launchers, the way that you slowly reload them and slowly pull them out. Just little animations like that were undeniably Battlefield, which I think to most people is probably what they want. It's what I want, because I don't want my Battlefield game to be a Call of Duty clone. I don't. I want it to be a brand new shooter that hopefully does a certain amount of things better than Call of Duty in different ways. But at the same time, I think a lot of people right now are looking for a Call of Duty replacement. And based off of the gameplay, I don't think we're going to be getting that. Now, keep in mind, unlike other Battlefield games, it appears as though they're going for the full package with this one. And what I mean by that is campaign, multiplayer, third mode. Now, I don't know what that third mode is. Everyone is guessing it's going to be an extraction shooter. Apparently, PUBG is working on their own extraction shooter right now. Apparently, Call of Duty is working on DMZ. So that's the next big thing. The other rumor is that it is a battle royale, which is interesting because as of right now, Call of Duty has rumors going around about their battle royale shutting down. I saw a rumor today about Fortnite shutting down. Let's be clear, that's never happening. So it could go one of two ways. Either the battle royale scene is just dropping down and Battlefield is going to put theirs out at the wrong time, or they're going to get into the extraction shooter game at what I think is going to be the right time. I think a lot of games are going to be putting that out over the next little while. I think they're just more intricate to make with their out of game menus, profiles, HUDs, things along those lines, marketplaces, if you will. But this is what's interesting to me. Exactly what you are seeing right here. Today was the first playtest. Not like the 7th, the first. This is going to be the smallest playtest that we get for this game. It's going to be the least amount of people that are playing it, and already everything is leaked. Like every little thing has leaked, and there's going to be more that comes out about it, and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Because here's the thing. With Black Ops 6, basically the whole game got leaked. The campaign got leaked. The multiplayer got leaked. all the guns got leaked, all the maps, like literally everything got leaked to the point where there was people putting up full gameplays on map like Stakeout, which wasn't seen till the full launch of the game months before the game dropped. We're probably, man, at least 6 months away from Battlefield 6 or new Battlefield dropping, I would say at least. And already all of this has come out. Like, you can essentially see gameplay. And from what I saw, if you've seen the gameplay, I would love for you to comment down below. But from what I have seen, everyone is just saying that this looks like Battlefield 4. Which, if they make a new version of Battlefield 4, I think that's completely fine. But if that's just the word that gets out there and what people are saying about the game, I do not see how this transitions into a strong longevity for the game. Because every single time there's a playtest, it's going to leak. And by the time the full game comes out, the whole game is going to be leaked. And it's the same reason why when you have big betas of games, like Call of Duty's done this, where everything that the game launches with is in the beta, except for like 2 guns, people aren't excited when the game comes out. So it's finding that fine line of getting the game play tested, getting the word out there, having people see it, but not the full game getting launched in that way. And if they continue, like I said, this is the first time they've done this. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this moving forward. It'll be very interesting to see if they get mad at any of the people who broke their NDAs. Like, I'm sure they're not going to be there at the next play tests. But it's weird because like these people who are leaking it aren't big content creators, are probably not making any money off of it. So what's like the only thing that's going to happen is you're not going to be in that next play test. So odd situation all around, but it has me moving in the positive direction. An undeniable Battlefield game is a good game to have in the first person shooter genre in my eyes. And we will see. We're still well away from the launch, so we will see. But interesting nonetheless. Just wanted to keep you guys filled in. 60 hertz servers, good thing. Call of Duty, take notes.